Hey guys, welcome back to Chariot Palmistry. We're continuing our series on Valmiki's astropalmistry today, and we're going to have a look at a specific technique within this system. Now let me just sum up what's been happening real quick. The last couple videos on this series, we've had a look at the meaning of life. We've used Valmiki's system to figure out what it is that you've been born to suffer in life, what it is you've been born to learn, or what emotions you've been born to feel. Now we're going to look at specific transits. And what this is going to teach you is essentially what will happen to you in life. And this is only something that can be measured through transits. Now, a transit of a planet, I've got a whole video on that in this playlist, so check that out in the description section below if you want to learn more about what a transit is. But today we're looking at the transit of Saturn into the solar ascendant. Let me use Valmiki's Ramayana to teach you how this system works, or how this technique works. So what happened was, after the death of Vali, Ram and Sugriv agreed to wait for a period of 4 months before beginning their search for Sita. And during this time, Ram and Lakshman lived in a cave on a mountain called Prasravana. And during this time, also, Sugriv, he lived in Kishkinda, that's his new kingdom. And he's surrounded by his 2 wives, Ruma and also Tara. So Tara was once Vali's wife, but she married Sugriv once her husband died. She's also the daughter of Jupiter. So whilst in his kingdom, Sugriv enjoyed his time as king, and he's often drunk and reveling with dances and wine. Ram, on the other hand, spent his period of time heartbroken over the loss of his wife. And so after the 4 months elapsed, Ram noticed that Sugriv still had not taken any action in finding Sita. So he decided to send Lakshman into Kishkinda to talk to Sugriv and to talk him into helping them. Now Lakshman isn't a calm, diplomatic type of person. He gets angry really quickly, and he was very irritated by Sugriv's indifference, and he went to the palace and essentially challenged Sugriv to present himself. And scared by the tone of Lakshman's voice, Sugriv asked Tara to go to him and calm him down first. She did as he asked, and meanwhile Hanuman was trying to rouse Sugriv out of his drunken revelry. And once both of these children of Jupiter did so, it was at this point Sugriv actually agreed to meet with Lakshman, and he apologized for his idleness. The 2 of them then went to Prasravana, where Sugriv prostrated himself before Ram, and he gave orders for the monkey army to begin their search for Sita. Okay, so that's the story, but what's really going on here? Lakshman, he's the ascendant's influence on Saturn, and that gives us direction in life by keeping our ego in check. Sugriv, as a son of the sun god, he's the solar ascendant, and he represents our desires and the means by which we fulfill our ego. The palace of Kishkinda is Sugriv's palace, and that represents the sign of the solar ascendant. So that's the zodiac sign that the sun's sitting in, your birth chart. And generally speaking, Saturn is a natural enemy of the sun, at least according to Indian astrology and Jyotish. And its transit of the house of the natal sun and the solar ascendant reduces the ability of the sun to function. So remember, the sun is for our ego, and the Saturn is the enemy to our ego. So most people in Indian Jyotish and Indian astrology in particular look at the transit of Saturn over the moon, and they call that Sadasati. They call that one of the worst times in your life. This technique from Valmiki, what it teaches is not only is that transit really bad, but it says that the transit of Saturn over the sun is also really bad. So calculate when Saturn was over your sun last, and you'll find that was one of the worst times in your life. But this system also teaches you how to fix any emotional scarring that you have from that point. And if you have any questions on that, put them in the comment section below. Otherwise, hit subscribe and you'll get more videos just like this. Thanks a lot, guys.